First step, it is extremely important. We have to define the variables. Okay, even if you get nothing else right, I will give you points for telling me what x and y are. Likewise, even if you get the whole problem correct, but you don't tell me what x and y are, I'm taking off. Because you are writing an equation, there are multiple ways you can write it, so I have to know what your x and y are to know if your equation is correct. Then, we are going to write a system. So we will use those variables, x and y, and write two equations from it. We'll create a system of equations. Then we can solve it. Substitution or elimination, whatever you guys prefer. Based on what I've seen, our accuracy with elimination is a little bit better, so I'm probably going to suggest that. But if you like substitution, you're welcome to do that one. And then we're going to answer the question. Okay? Every time you have a word problem, you have to be able to understand and identify what the actual solution is. So those are the steps we are going to go through today. Everybody needs to have this page in your notes open. If you don't have a pencil, you need to either borrow one from a friend or trade me something for one. So everybody has to be writing these down so that we know our process. Alright, we're going to jump around quite a bit today, but let's take a look at problem number 1. The sum of two numbers is 32, and their difference is 18. Find the two numbers. So I have to find my two numbers. That's what x and y are going to be. So I'm just going to say x is the first number. Y is the second number. That's step 1. Okay, you don't have to give me a lot of detail. I just need to know what x and y are. So you get a point just for telling me x is one number, y is the second number. And you have to actually say that. You can't just say x, y. You have to put beside them what they are. Okay, x is the first number, y is the second number. Now we have to write equations, and we have enough information to write two equations. So when I'm looking at this, it tells me the sum. What does sum mean? Plus. Of two numbers is, what does is mean? Okay. So when I add my two numbers, so x plus y, it equals 32. Second equation. Their difference. What does the difference mean? Subtracting. So x minus y means equals 18. So we have a point for telling what x and y are. We have a point for each of these equations. You have to write the original equations. Is everybody with me to this point? Can I solve this? What would be the easiest option for solving this? You can either, I would probably eliminate my y, and isn't it already set up to eliminate? Yeah. So we can just add these together. 1x plus 1x is 2x. 1y minus 1y, those are gone. 32 plus 18 is 50. So divide by 2, and x is 25. Now, what do I have to do? Okay, so if I just go with the first one, x is 25 plus y equals 32. So subtract the y, or subtract 25, and y is 7. So we have to find our variables. We wrote the system. We solved it, now we just have to answer it. So here, 25 and 7. You can write a full sentence. I'm going to be a little bit nicer and not make you write a full sentence as long as you are clearly identifying. Okay? And box it in so I know this is your answer. My numbers are 25 and 7. Let's look at problem 3 together. The difference between two numbers is 6. The first number plus twice the other number is 39. Find the two numbers. So again, I'm looking for the two numbers. So what are x and y? So then be first number and second number. Easy points right there. Okay, make sure you're writing that down. All right, now we need to write our equations. So first thing we know, the difference. What does difference mean? Subtract between two numbers is 6. So how would I write that equation?
X minus y equals 6.
Okay, the second one. The first number. So my first number is x plus twice the other number. What does twice mean?
2y.
2 times is 39. All right, now we have to solve it. Substitution or elimination. What do you guys want to do here?
Do y.
Okay. If you want to eliminate y, we would need to take the first one times 2. So that gives me a 2x minus 2y equals 12. Second equation didn't change, it just stayed the same. So now if we add these, 2x plus 1x is 3x. Negative 2y and positive 2y cancel. 39 plus 12, 51. Divided by 3, and x is 7. Okay, then we plug it back in. So if I go to the first equation, the x is 17 minus y equals 6. Subtract the 17. Divide by negative 1. That is not 9, that's negative 1. And y is 11. So my numbers are 17 and 11. Are there questions on that one? Okay. I want to jump a long way. I want to go to problem 12. I told you I'm jumping around today. Okay, this one is going to be a little bit different. I'm not just talking about two numbers anymore. So we've got the basics, we kind of did that with our number problems. Now we want to look at a more interesting scenario. So, a summer soccer camp ordered a total of 84 soccer balls and t-shirts for the season. Soccer balls cost $25 each and t-shirts cost $9.50 each. If they paid $1,046 total for the purchase, how many of each item was ordered? If you look at that last piece, it kind of tells you what your variable is. How many of each item? What are the two things we have?
X is soccer balls and Y is t-shirts.
Okay. So X is going to be the soccer balls, and Y would be my t-shirts. Because we need to know how many of each item. So our variables are the items. So that is required. You have to write that down. Then you have to write the equations. So we look. It tells me we ordered a total of 84 soccer balls and t-shirts. That means all together. So the balls plus the shirts, the number of balls plus the number of shirts will be 84. That's how many items I purchased. Then I get into the cost. The soccer balls cost $25 each. Okay, if I bought 3 soccer balls, how much would I have spent?
$75.
How do we get that?
25 times X.
Okay, you take the cost times the number you purchase. So when I have the cost of my soccer balls, I'm going to take that cost times the number of soccer balls. Okay, t-shirts are $9.50 each. So to find the cost of my t-shirts, we take the $9.50 times the number of shirts equals my total amount of money spent, $1,046. Okay, this is the style of most of the problems we're going to be solving today. We're talking about money. So your total cost, you have your item times its cost. So now I have my equations. How do you want to solve? Substitution or elimination? Okay, if I want to eliminate x, what would I do? Let's do that. So now we have a negative 25x minus 25y. 84 times 25, negative 2,100. So you guys have been used to pretty nice small numbers. They may not always be the case here. So now we're going to add these together. Negative 25x and positive 25x cancel. With my y's, we have negative 25 plus 950. So that gives me a negative 15.5y. Negative 2,100 plus 1,046 is negative 1,054. So now if I want to get y by itself, we have to divide the negative 15.5. And that gives me 68. Once you have y, we go back and we plug it into one of the originals. So I usually just go with the first one. So x plus the y, which is 68, equals 84. Subtract 68. X is 16. To answer the question here, you can't just say 16 and 68 because they're different things. X was what? of the soccer balls, and Y is the shirts. So 68 shirts. So you have to look back when we defined our variables to know, okay, 16, that's the number of soccer balls I had. 68, that's the number of shirts. And label those in our answer. Okay, I want you guys to read question 13. I want you to do two things. I want you to identify what X and Y are and see if you can write your equations. Do not try to solve them yet. I want to check ourselves before we go all the way through. But see if you can identify X and Y and write two equations. If we look at the last sentence, it basically tells us what our variables should be. It says, how many of each type? So my variables are each type. What are the types we have here?
Hot dog and pizza.
Okay, so X is hot dog and Y is pizza. Now, you can absolutely flip those. If you said X is pizza and Y is hot dog, you are not wrong. But your equations will look different, which is why I say you have to tell me what's what, so I can check it. All right, so my equations. We have 30 people that attended, and each person ordered a hot dog or a slice of pizza. So how many items were ordered altogether?
30.
30. So my first equation is X plus Y equals 30. Then I get into the cost. Hot dogs are $2.50. So 2.50x. Plus pizza is $3.25. So 3.25y. Equals the 250, the 325, that's money. So this is my total money, my total cost, which was $81.75. How did we do on that part? Okay, so now we have to solve. Again, you can do substitution or elimination. Does anyone prefer substitution? We like elimination, so I'll keep going with that. If I want to eliminate, it doesn't matter which one. If I want to eliminate X, what would I do? Negative 250x minus 250y. 30 times 250. What's that give me? Well, everybody has a calculator. I'm not doing it all here. You guys can do something.
Negative 97.5. Oh wait, I'm doing the
You did
y
the second one.
instead.
And we did not change that. Okay, now we add those together. Negative 250 and positive 250 cancel. Negative 250 plus 3.25. This is 0.75y. Okay, don't let the decimals scare you. You have a calculator. Negative 75 plus 81.75 is 6.75. So divide by 0.75 and y equals none. Once we have y, plug it back in. So the first equation, x plus y, which is 9, equals 30. So subtract our 9, and x is 21. So the answer, x was hot dogs. So we have 21 hot dogs. Y was the pizza. So 9 pizza slices. Okay. That's what all of our problems today are going to look like. Should we do one more together? Let's do one more, and then I'll stop for today. So problem 14. The maximum capacity for seating in a theater is 500 people. If you're struggling, just kind of underlining or highlighting your numbers as you go through can help. The theater sells 2 types of tickets. Adult tickets for $7.25 each, child tickets for $4 each. If they sold out on a certain showtime, they made a total of $3,157 in ticket sales. Now the question, how many of each type? So my variables are my types. What are the 2 types?
Adult tickets and child tickets.
Okay, so I'm going to say X is adult and Y is child. Now we need our equations. So the maximum capacity is 500 people. So what's that first equation?
X plus
X
Y.
plus Y equals 500.
Then I get into the money. So the adult tickets are $7.25. Alright, so adult is my X, cost is $7.25. So 7.25X. Child tickets are 4. So 4 is my Y. So that would be 4Y. This is our cost. So the total cost was $3,157. What do you want to eliminate? Y. So we could take the first equation times
-4.
negative 4. So negative 4x minus 4y equals negative 2,000. And 7.25x plus 4y equals 3,157. Add them together, so negative 4 plus 7.25 is 3.25. Negative 4 and positive 4 cancel. Negative 2,000 plus 3,157. 1,157. Divided by 3.25. Next is 356. So now we plug it back in. First equation, x, which is 356, plus y equals 500. We subtract. Y is 144. So now to answer it, x was the adult. So there's 356 adult tickets. Y was the child. So 144